I'm just reminded of something that happened between you and I in 2011 when we were in Garissa. Somewhere.
Yes, we were at Nomad.
At Nomad.
And that time, you know, I was in URP and TNA.
You had just become from ODM.
Yes.
And URP
yes.
Yes.
And we were preparing for the election. We wanted to form a merger with the TNA. And I kept on telling you that next election we are going to win.
As Jubilee.
And we did, as Jubilee.
Very interesting.
At that time as TNA URP.
URP, yes.
Yeah, we won.
The reason why I bring this up, because I want to talk about the BBI
yes.
and the cohesive country, because
yes.
you come from the extreme end of
yes.
this country,
yes.
and William Ruto from the extreme end,
yes.
and you joined. So I want to talk about cohesion. Yes. But before I talk about that, a pertinent question that Kenyans are asking, what's happening in the northern Kenya in terms of teachers? Does this worry the leaders such as you?
Yes, in fact, what's happening in northern Kenya, particularly in the counties of Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera, there's a serious educational crisis. There are no teachers. We have insecurity from attacks from Al-Shabaab. And you know, the narrative of Al-Shabaab is that when they cross to Kenya, because they want to create ethnic and religious conflict. In Somalia, they killed Somalis and they killed Muslims. But when they cross to our country, they attack our Christian brothers for quite a long time. You remember Garissa University in my constituency. So it's a very, very sad situation in the north. The children in the north are not going to school, particularly in the rural constituencies. There are over 2,580 teachers who have left in the last 1 month.
That's approximately how many schools have been affected? I
think in every county, close to about 200, 300 schools, both primary and secondary. But in total, there are 2,580, 1,650 primary schools and 900 secondary schools. Ironically, the Teacher Service Commission has a duty to make sure, and it's a constitution also, that every child in Kenya must have or must access education and more so quality education. But we have to balance between the security of teachers and the rights of the children to access education. So we are in catch-22. We had a discussion as leaders. We have given proposal. We've met the head of state yesterday, and we have agreed on a roadmap, both in terms of, as leaders, how to work with the security agencies in pacifying the region. Community involvement is key in the war against terror. At the same time, we have given the president a long-term sustainable education solutions
for that region.
For that region, where we want to make sure that going forward, 99% of the teachers in those 3 counties and in the north will be indigenous people.
99%?
So, yes. So we want to have more college intakes from the north. We want more affirmative actions. For the short term, we want more untrained teachers to fill the gap left by those teachers. We want to recall...
That's the short term?
Yes.
That's the short term.
To recall back teachers who retired. Because, you know, what is now happening to the national government is that both the competency curriculum-based, which they're implementing, and the 100% transition program of President Uhuru Kenyatta is not working now in the north.
And yet they have to compete on the same
But again,
level.
we have also agreed that there must be a coordination between the Ministry of Education and Teacher Service Commission. Professor Magoha
yes.
and any other Minister of Education is telling you, you know, it's only in Kenya, let me tell you, where the Minister for Education is not in charge of teachers. I mean, it's sad, and I think I was part of the 10th Parliament that created all these commissions. But the Teacher Service Commission must listen to the Minister for Education going forward.
What worries a lot of people is what you're precisely saying tonight.
Yes.
As Kenyan, you are free to work anywhere.
Yes.
When you're calling for 99% of indigenous teachers, Where does that leave most Kenyan teachers who perhaps want to explore and work elsewhere?
No, if you go to my constituency, 60% of the other Kenyans are still teaching. But you know, the teacher crisis, the education crisis is there as a result of the insecurity. So we need first to fix these security issues in the north. Once we fix that, then and Garissa or Wajir or Mandera becomes like any other county.
Then we can deploy anyone.
Then anybody can work. I mean, the health workers are there. But you know, right now, we also don't want to risk the lives of
But what
teachers.
you're telling me is that only Christians are affected by this. It means insecurity will end once these people are not in that country.
No.
That's what I'm hearing.
No. I mean, they're killing our security forces. They're killing locals. They're killing non-locals, teachers or health workers. Okay? So we must strike a balance to make sure that, particularly in the far-flung constituencies near the border, that we must save the life of those teachers who are indiscriminately targeted by the terrorists. At the same time, we must find a lasting solution. We cannot be having every time a crisis that the non-local teachers, because of insecurity, will leave the region. So we must
leave
think,
the students
yes, we must think of a long-term sustainable solution.
Which to me would be security in that region.
Of course, I'm sure our intelligence, our police, our KDF are working.
Have you had this issue about Nyelengumu in that region?
You know, those are the people who want to stereotype and create prejudices among our people. Even Teacher Service Commission is wrong to describe the teachers of Kenya into locals and non-locals. You know, this is the same thing that is taking political leaders to make hate speech. There's no difference between me and you. We are Kenyans. So those who play to those, kind of names are people who want to divide Kenyans along ethnic,
you don't
religious.
Think there is any truth?
No. Those are people who want to carry a narrative that is contrary to the Kenya that we want to build and the Kenya that President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Jubilee government wants to build. I don't subscribe to such narratives.
Okay.
I mean, half of my staff in my constituency, or in my office in Parliament, my drivers, all of them are non-locals. I went to school. I went to Moi Force Academy. I went to a Kenyan university. So you know that those people who want to still create a narrative that there's a Somali and there's Nyelengumu and all this. And this is why even in the census we have a problem. You know, when Kenya Bureau of Statistics describes us as Kenyan Somalis, you know, it's something.
That's where it starts.
Yes, I mean, that is profiling a community. Why can't you say Somalis? Somalis occupy 3 counties. Somalis are Kenyans. So where is this story of Kenyan Somalis coming from?
Okay.
And I think we are going to challenge that.
Okay.
We will call the Director General of Kenya Bureau of Statistics.
Yeah, to change that.
He must give a good reason why he is describing the leader of majority as a Kenyan Somali.
Okay.
I am a Kenyan.
Okay, interesting.
And he's not describing the Luos as Kenyan Luos because they also live in Tanzania.
Yes.
He's not describing the Maasais as Kenyan Maasais.
Because they're also
He's not describing the Luyas across the border in Busia as Kenyan Luyas. Why is he only picking of the Somalis?
Okay. Okay, so lastly on this question, so do you believe, because these are sound bites from the locals who talk about, these people in Nyelengumu, they're taking our opportunities. You don't believe this, and truthfully, you don't believe this is playing a part in this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You had the case of the teacher who wanted to save the other teachers in Mandera, the guy who was also killed. Last week, 3 teachers, 3 non-locals and 1 local were killed in a bus between Mandera and Wajir. So this happens everywhere.
Okay.
But it's a very sad situation. And I think government is doing all it can, and we had a very good discussion, and we have a way forward. I hope the other players in government will do their part with the leadership.
This was multi-sectoral.
Yes, we the leaders have committed that we'll do our part, but government has a responsibility of providing security.
When you say government, who do you mean?
I mean the government, our government.
Yes.
The Jubilee government.
And you know you're very highly ranked in the government.
Of course.
Yes.
But you know, I am in charge of one branch of government.
The second
I mean, there's a security sector. Men and women were in charge. There is men and women who are in charge of the education sector. I hope they will do their bit and make sure that the lives and the property of every Kenyan, regardless of whether they're in the north, they're in the west, they're in the east, are protected. That every child in Kenya, whether he's in Garissa or Wajir or Mandera, is treated and given access to quality education.
Okay.